Hello there, my name is Thompson and this video is about teaching juniors. I've been playing golf myself for a long time now, since I was about 4 years of age, and I've lived actually on a golf course for about 40 years of my life. My father was a golf professional, my mother was a very good golfer, my sister won the Lincolnshire Girls Championships on at least 2 occasions. My brother became a golf professional, so I've been very, very fortunate. I've been involved in the best game in the world now for almost 70 years now. I've been lucky. Most people wouldn't have those chances. I have, and I apply all of that knowledge to teaching juniors. But juniors to me are just golfers. I've taught more than 100 golf pros. I've taught amateur champions, lady golfers, gentlemen golfers, junior golfers who've won hundreds of competitions, big ones, small ones. But to me, golfers are golfers. There's 60 million golfers in the world. From Justin Rose, carried in the world #1. I taught Justin about 20 odd years ago. Great guy. I'm glad he's got to #1, and he's a top golfer and going down 60 million places. Somebody is the worst golfer. Everybody is in between, but they're all golfers. So I teach juniors. I use the same principles that I do for all of my pupils. It's very important, extremely important, that juniors have clubs that fit them. It's crucial. Some juniors are given clubs to play with, and mainly because the loft angles are too little, so there's no spin, so they can't get the ball in the air, or the clubs are too long, or both, so they can't swing them properly. They use these very heavy clubs with not enough loft, and they can't hit the ball. Guess what they're going to do? Stop playing golf. Can be expensive. Juniors, 3-4 years of age, need very short clubs, very light clubs with plenty of loft. Just buy them maybe 1 or 2, maybe a 7-iron with loads of loft, and a wood with loads of loft, 20 degrees plus, and maybe a putter. That's enough to get them going, because they need to get the ball in the air. Doesn't matter how far it goes, it needs to go in the air, because if they watch good golfers in tournaments or on television or on the driving range, wherever, they will see the ball flying in the air. And if they can't do that, they'll stop playing, which is tragic really. So please make sure the clubs are the right length and the clubs have plenty of loft. First thing, clubs need to fit. Second thing is, whatever your age, from 3 to 80 plus, if you don't hold the club fairly well, you've got a problem. You won't find many good golfers with really bad grips. There's a driving range here, and a nice driving range, good golf balls, great golf balls, and I often walk down the range and see juniors being taught, or juniors just having a go, and they hold the club like that, or they hold the club like that. It isn't going to work. It really is not going to work. To them it feels comfortable, it feels great, and they want to see the ball flying in the air, but it isn't going to happen. And if I see any juniors, or any golfers for that matter, holding a club with the hands apart, or the left hand below the right hand, I just stop and attempt, not always successfully, attempt to change it. There aren't any successful golfers that I can think of who hold the club with a big gap. There are very few who hold the club with the left hand below the right hand, even though to those juniors it feels comfortable. Comfort is secondary. Function is more important. The grips on golf clubs, I'll show you this one. These grips are great. Grips with designs on are fantastic. Many golfers have no idea what the grip design is for. Well, it's designed to help you hold the club properly. See this little curved bit where the white part is? That's for your thumb. There. See the little curved bits on the black part of the grip? That's for your right hand. Grips with patterns on are extremely useful. So try, if you are teaching juniors, sons, daughters, try and get a grip on the club with the patterns on. Extremely useful for all golfers, not just juniors. Many golfers have no idea why the design is there. Well, that's why the design is there. Whilst we're talking about grips, it needs to be the right size. All golfers need to hold the club so that, just get down here, the middle two fingers of the left hand just about touch the base of the thumb there. So whatever your age, that's the size of the grip. I used to make golf clubs and I had 10 different grip sizes. So almost everyone can fit into those 10 different sizes. On my YouTube site there are DVDs on gripping, standing, aiming, ball position. They apply to all golfers. Scratch golfers, people off less than scratch, golf professionals, juniors. If the ball is positioned in the wrong place, bit of a problem. Try and play all the shots inside the heel by 2 inches. If the ball is too far back in the stance, then you've reduced the loft and you'll hit too far down. If the ball is too far forward in the stance, then you're going to top it or hit the ball on the upswing. Maybe it goes too high. So ball position for all golfers, inside the heel by 2 inches, get the right foot straight, turn the left foot out. If you're a junior playing golf and you don't know how to stand, how will they stand? Oh, that feels comfortable? Fantastic. That feels comfortable? Fantastic. It won't work. I know it won't work. You know it won't work. So, physically put their feet in the right place. There. Just lift their feet into the right place and they won't like it very much, but it will then start to feel more comfortable and then it will start to work. Make sure they aim the face where the ball is going to go. Put a stick there for them. Say to them, do you want the ball to go straight? And they'll all say yes. So put a stick down there so they can see the face is pointing straight. Explain things to them because they don't know. Explain, for example, this is the face, this hits the ball. This end is the toe, that end is the heel, this is the shaft, this is the grip, because they won't know. If you don't tell them, they won't know. The face needs to aim straight, and then your feet are the parallel to this line, or maybe a little bit to the left of this line. If you build in all these things as soon as you can, then they will get better sooner. And if they learn good swings as juniors, as they get older, guess what? The ball goes further. Just because they're stronger. Make sure when they get older either lengthen the clubs or get them some new clubs. I know it's expensive, it can be expensive, but it's pretty crucial for their development that the thing in their hand, the golf club that hits the ball, is the right club for the job. Once they become, I don't know, 17, 18, then they're probably into 4-size clubs, and then it becomes a bit easier. So expand the clubs as they get taller. I've taught lots of juniors. One I can think of, he was, I don't know, this big. First lesson, he's now taller than me and really strong, and I've taught him the same principles that I teach his father and his mother, and he's gone from being, I don't know, 20 odd handicap, hitting the ball not very well. He now hits the ball a long, long way, because I taught him from day one, this is how you stand. This is how you swing back. Don't let juniors swing back too far to try and hit the ball further, because he won't, and if they go back to here, they can hit the ball much straighter. As they get taller, stronger, the ball goes further. Don't let them hold the club as they want to, because that isn't going to work. It's quite tricky, very tricky, to get them to hold the club properly. Grip designs will help, you can help. Gently persuade them to hold the club properly. Say, look, this is Justin Rose's grip, and he's the best golfer in the world. And say to them, as I do, nobody plays good golf holding the club like that. And there's a strong chance that they won't either. So try and get them to hold the club properly, stand to the ball properly. Another of my juniors, he was, I don't know, this tall. He seemed to be quite talented, but his swing was not very good. His takeaway went literally like that. Over the years, over 18 years now, I've got him to swing properly. His handicap went down to scratch. Last year he shot a gross 65, a gross 66, playing the best golf of his life. But his swing, or my instructions to him, haven't changed. We do the same things all the time, and it works. Another junior, handicap 23, 3 years ago, handicap now 1. And he was here, not very strong, and now he's much bigger, much stronger, teaching the same things, and it works. All of those juniors I mentioned, I also teach their fathers, which helps quite a lot. But when they come along for lessons, obviously they can't drive cars, so they come along with their parents, and they let me teach them. They don't give them their ideas or their versions, they just let me teach them, which is pretty essential. One junior I taught at the Army Golf Club, 1980s, I taught his father, I think he played a 7 handicap. He wanted his son to play golf, so he came along for lessons, and after 6 lessons, he couldn't hit the ball. He missed the ball every single time. Miss. I thought he'd give up. But no, he wasn't going to give up. Then eventually, he could hit the ball, and it went flying out to the right. And that went on for a while. I thought, well, he'll give up. But he didn't. To cut a long story short, when I left the Army Golf Club, his handicap was 7, which is fantastic, because he wasn't going to give up. He knew that if I gave him a good grip, good stance, good ball position, good concept of the backswing, that eventually, in the long term, it's going to work. Golf is not a short-term game. Very, very hard to learn to play golf quickly. It really is. You need to follow the basic principles, and because the ball is less than 2 inches in size, and the club head is typically less than 3 inches in size, or about 3 inches, it's really hard to get a 3-inch club head to hit a 2-inch ball when it's gone all the way back this way and all the way down again. It's the hardest game in the world. I tell all my pupils and juniors this is the hardest game in the world, which is not meant as a deterrent, it's meant as a challenge. Playing the hardest game in the world and the best game in the world to me is a fantastic challenge, and I enjoy making all people play better golf. So, juniors, a quick recap. Difficult to teach. They want to do what they want to do. They want to stand as they want, hold the club as they want, swing as they want, and in the long term it isn't going to work. Try and get them to just have a normal basic grip, stance, ball position, etc. Make sure the clubs are okay. If you're not sure, go onto a golf pro, ask them to get the loft angle, especially on the woods, more loft rather than less loft. Just buy them maybe 3 clubs, a wood with plenty of loft, maybe 7, 9 and a putter. And once they've done that and they can get the basic principles right, they take good shots and they'll keep on playing golf. Like the Tiger Woods kept on playing golf. So they're the basic principles. Tricky to teach. They need a lot of patience, a lot of guidance, and in the long term, as I found out myself, it will work. And it's great to see it. It really is. Seeing someone this high, having not a clue what to do, to being way tall and playing off scratch handicap is fantastic. But they all can't play a scratch. Don't delude them. I never teach anyone and say to them, we or I will get the handicap down. I never do that. All I work on is getting their grip, stance, swing right. Then they hit better shots, less shots, handicap comes down. That's how I do it. So, teaching juniors, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned something about how to teach juniors, and quite possibly you've learned something yourself as well. So thank you for listening. Thank you very much.